Hey there internets, and welcome to Review Wars, where I've invited other reviewers from across the internets to join me here on Toucan Play That Game in pitching their best game in a category that you, the viewers, then get to vote on, which is the true one winner in that category. And this time the category is going to be the best game of 2016. So let's take a look at the nominations.
I might be from Who Dares Rolls TV, and I need you to listen very carefully. You see, I've set myself quite the task to convince you to pick my choice, the Game of the Year 2016. Not wanting to make this too easy, I've selected a game that's aggravated numerous reviewers. It's been called boring, disappointing, and just not very good. Well, they're all wrong. Coming from Rob Daviau, the co-designer of last year's blockbuster hit Pandemic Legacy and creator of the Legacy system, Seafall has been a game 3 years in the making. And I suspect that the anticipation and whirlwind success of Pandemic are in no small part responsible for causing the hype machine to blow several gaskets, and for the subsequent wave of disgruntlement that greeted it landing on our shores. For those unaware of Legacy and what it is, then, let me quickly surmise. Legacy brings permanence to board games. Every choice you make matters. They follow you from game to game like a moth-eaten puppy. You'll tear up cards and write on boards and open secret packets full of surprises and wonder. They are truly once-in-a-lifetime experiences to be cherished and amazed by. So Seafall had a mountain to climb. Previously, Legacy games have used a lean, basic game as its jumping off point, slowly embellishing on those tried and tested mechanics, focusing on story and blockbuster movie style reveals. Seafall doesn't just give us a new game to learn, but a world to discover. So what is Seafall? Set in the age of sail, each player is a province that will nurture and over generations into a mighty empire, with the eventual goal, once the campaign is complete, of becoming emperor of all they survey. What this presents to us is a sandbox where you choose the path your peoples take in the world and how it's formed. Will they be explorers sailing out into the unknown, discovering long-lost civilizations and pillaging the treasures? These adventures come via the Captain's Book, a choose-your-own-adventure-style guide full of decisions and consequence. Maybe you'll build a mighty fleet to be feared on the seas, bringing ruin to all in your path. But be wary, Seafall remembers, and the ramifications of your warmongering may be felt over many games. Or perhaps you'll open trade routes and establish colonies on far-flung islands and bask in the riches this brings you. But then you do make yourself an inviting target for all the other promises. The choice is yours. This is a stunning design, and I think it's been sold far, far short of its scope by some. This isn't the white-knuckle thriller of Pandemic to be barreled through at breakneck pace. This is more like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, extended editions, a huge, sprawling tale that is to be slowly savoured and enjoyed. It's a game for players, not reviewers, for a group who want to meet up every couple of weeks and encounter what's out there, tell some tall tales, and experience this world you're discovering. Another thing that most seem to have missed is that, while there are legacy boxes in this game causing that breathless anticipation of some monumental new shift in the world's history, every turn, every moment in this game is a legacy moment. The game and its environment are constantly evolving and shifting. The legacy system is layered throughout the game like a cardboard lasagna, constantly flowing up interesting new decisions and consequences. We will not see something like Seafall again. I just can't see it. Well, the short-sighted approach is to dismiss it as just a marvellous failure. This is wrong. We won't really understand how revolutionary and whip-crack smart Seafall is until years from now. And besides, I'm never wrong.
Hi, I'm Paul.
And I'm Ming.
And at Skip the Rulebook, our favourite game of 2016 has got to be Codenames Pictures. This rather abstract game of questionable communication skills would for most be considered a gateway game, as it is very accessible to both gamers and non-gamers alike. But within simple components is concealed a game that will have you thinking deeply and agonising over your next move, not to mention the odd bit of swearing.
Players break into two teams, red and blue, with one player on each team nominated as the describer. Players are then presented with a 5x4 grid of picture tiles. By drawing a random keycard shown only to the describers, the grid of pictures is divided between the two teams. The describers must then communicate which of the pictures belong to their own team, and the first team to correctly guess all of their pictures wins the game.
The twist is that the describer can only say two things. The first is a single word that describes the cards that they want their team to guess. The second is the number of cards that they think their word describes. For example, if I wanted my team to guess this card, I might say Wasp 1. The other members of my team would then tap a card in order to indicate their guess. If they get it correct, we'd score the point.
The other team will be trying to get all of their pictures before you, so the knack to the game comes in using one word to communicate multiple pictures. So I could say person 2 in the hope that my team will pick this one and this one. Looking at the grid, however, will show that my chosen word could actually describe 3 or 4 pictures, potentially leading my team to guess the wrong one.
If your team guesses the wrong picture, then you can give away points to the other team. Or if they accidentally pick the picture which matches the black card, the assassin, you lose the game outright. Choosing your words carefully is key to victory, and using common references between people you know or in jokes among friends is a great way to communicate concisely.
Codenames Pictures really comes into its own when played with a larger group, and neatly fills the gap left by the majority of games when your group grows above 7 or 8. The simplicity of the concept means that it can be played by anyone from kids right through to grandparents, so this game will definitely be making an appearance at our dinner table for the foreseeable future.
Each round can go relatively quickly, and will leave you hankering for that fatal just one more go. The first time we played Codenames Pictures, before we knew it, we'd played 4 back-to-back games. If you're looking for a game of high strategy and deep complexity, then this probably isn't the game for you. But what it does do excellently is get you communicating creatively with a grin from ear to ear as you try and figure out how someone could possibly confuse a spaceship in a tree for an ostrich wearing a hat.
If you think we've made a solid case for Codenames Pictures as the game of 2016, then drop a comment in the box below.
You can also catch more of us on our usual channel, Skip the Rulebook.
So forget what all the other reviewers are saying. The best game of 2016 is Adrenaline. And the reason for that isn't because of the fantastic component quality, from the fantastic cardboard components, the plastic components, the amazingly beautiful and detailed miniatures, and of course those fantastic translucent red skulls. No, it's not those components. I mean, yeah, sure, those are good, but no, that is not what makes Adrenaline the best game of the year. Is it the fact that it's really simple and easy to play? It's as simple as run around, grab stuff, and shoot. That is the game. It is that simple. No, it's not because it's simple and easy to learn. Well, is it because of the mechanics? You know, you've got these fantastic mechanics in this game, with the area control being the health. Is it because of that innovative, fantastic idea to do that? No, it's not that. Is it the artwork? I mean, the artwork is great. Is it the artwork? This fantastic first-person shooter style artwork on the cards? Is that what makes it the best game of the year? No. That's still good, but no, that's not what makes it the best. Is it the way that it has filled and dripping with theme, that you slam down your attack card, that you feel like you're running around this board shooting each other? No, it's not that. It's not even the way that the theme and mechanics combine so superbly. No, it's really simple. What makes Adrenaline the best game of 2016? It's as simple as the fact that it makes you feel like a kid. It's fun, it's fast, it's furious, and you get to go pew pew!
Hello, it's me, Jose Wordsworth, distributor of industrial strength manure. Today I'll be bringing you Board Deck and Dice's Game of 2016. And while Adrenaline is a newer game from the tail end of 2016, has certainly impressed me in its plays, we will not be looking at Adrenaline today, no way. My game of 2016 is Tyrants of the Underdark. Tyrants of the Underdark. Now, let me preface this by saying I do not know my drow from my left toe, but in this deck building area control game I found two mechanisms that I absolutely love, and they just work together despite the component quality not being that great, which is something I'm a bit of a component pony. I quite like the good old components, but this game has just impressed me in the way it plays. It's got variability with 4 decks included in a kind of smash up style where you can smash them together, and yeah, I've just really loved it. Let's take a closer look and see if I can convince you. In Tyrants you have this map representing, I guess, the Underdark, but really it's all about control, and there's certain areas on this map that are more important than others. You will also take a player board for your chosen colour. Doesn't really matter, there's no asymmetricalness here, they're all the same, but they do give you a nice crib sheet in the middle about what you can do on your go. You will choose 2 of the 4 decks in the game and smash them together. You have drow, dragons, demons and elementals, and the game gives you some advice about which to use first, but if you're familiar with deck builders you're not going to have a problem with any of those. So you will shuffle those 2 decks together to create a market. Like any other deck builder, you start with the same relatively weak hand, and there are cards that are always available to buy, and then these special cards which let you do things like put troops out onto the board, supplant someone else's troop, which is where you defeat that troop, which is going to give you victory points, but also place one of your troops on the map. Troops are represented by these little shields. The white ones are neutral troops, and they will start on the board wherever there is a crossed sword slashy instrument type icon. So there'll be loads of these on the board, and you are trying to take control by having the most of your colour on any of these places. Some, like the ones in black, simply give points, and some, like the ones in white with circles on, will have one of these on them. When you take partial control, you snatch one of these, and if you ever get full control, you flip it over and you get bonuses every go. So for partial control on this one, every go you've got partial control, you get 1 extra influence, which is buying power or coins in any other deck builder. And if you get full control, you get that plus 1 victory point for every turn that you start in charge of that area. People can take these off you, and it's a really nice system because you can see who's amassing the points quickly, and everyone tries to take them out, particularly some of the areas where they get more victory points, like, let me practice my pronunciation here, Menzoberranzan. That is exactly how a Dungeon and Dragon person would say it, where you get, I've just been judged by the god of Dungeons and Dragons, where you get 2 victory points for total control of that. The routes are very important because you can only, in general, unless you have a card that lets you do otherwise, place troops in areas where you have influence, and you only have influence next to one of your troops. So I can place here, 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 or here with that one there. The difference being the spies, which here they are. Spies can be placed out on any space on the board, and they give you influence, so you can suddenly spread your evil of redness all over the board as long as someone doesn't foil you. Spies are really important. They don't go on the actual circles themselves, they stand on the edges, and they can be used for various effects. So spies gives you further reach. You can either directly attack someone or take away their influence. Say someone has got that total control of Menzoberranzan, then you put your spy there and suddenly they haven't got total control and they have to flip their token back over. It's very useful. So it's kind of area control meets deck building, and it just works. When those cards come out, you're all looking to see what you want to do. Do you want to be a person who can supplant anywhere on the board, get your spies out easily, Or do you just want to spread an attack from a secure base? And there's also one other interesting mechanism. Every player board comes with a beer mat. Now, this beer mat is for cards that you promote. If you get a card with a promote power, you can take one of your standard or non-standard cards, which would be worth 2 points at the end, and if you promote it, you then get the amount in the circle, but that card can no longer use for its power. So there's a real kind of decision at play. Do I get rid of this useful card and get more points at the end and play the long game, or do I try and hang on to it a bit more and hope that my promote power comes up at the right time? Or do I just focus on buying a load of promote cards and doing that, building a big reserve in my promotion circle? It all comes together and makes for a really, really interesting game, and that's why Tyrants of the Underdark is my game of 2016. Thanks very much for watching. See you again next time on Board, Deck and Dice.
So there are 4 nominations: Seafall, Codenames Pictures, Adrenaline, or Tyrants of the Underdark. But which do you think of those is the truly best game of 2016, or who's done the best to convince you that their game is the best choice? Put your vote in the comments below or upvote someone else's, and then join me in a week's time to find out who the one true winner is of the best game of 2016. And I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and of course please do check out the rest of the videos on my channel and also on the contributors' channels. And as always, thanks for watching and bye for now.